Good morning, everybody. You might be wondering what in the world I'm doing today. I'm wondering that same question. I painted this a couple days ago, uh, just was messing around, um, wanted to plop some color on a canvas. So I used white, I used blue, I used a purple, and I used a kind of a limey green color. And I just took my palette knife and I went like this, back and forth, kind of at a diagonal on my page. I liked it, but I wasn't like in love with it. So then I took a brush and I just started making swirls and circles on it, and that made me happier. And then I just let it dry. I mean, it took like, I don't know, couldn't have taken me more than 5 minutes just to plop some color on this canvas. It was an old used canvas. It had some stuff on it that I didn't necessarily care for. And so I just covered it up. I was going to do, in Cinnamon Cooney's acrylic April this, this month. Well, you'll see it next month, but the month I'm filming this, it's April, and they're doing acrylic April, and it's all flower inspired. So that's why I think this kind of came out, because I've been doing a lot of flowers in my acrylic art painting. Um, yeah. And then I had this brilliant idea to do something I've never done before. So I went out on the interwebs and I purchased myself some gilding adhesive. It's a water-based gilding adhesive for all metal leaves. And I purchased myself a package of imitation silver, gold, and copper leaf. Not real gold. There's no need to waste real gold on an art piece unless you're making a masterpiece that needs real gold, but I don't. Imitation is just fine with me. I think there's 100 sheets in here, and it was like $7 or $8 or something. I don't remember exactly. And then I purchased myself a new set of brushes. It was nice. It came in this case. Um, it came with a palette knife and some sponges. I haven't even really opened them yet. I opened two brushes. I opened the small one and the big one just to see what they felt like, because I wanted a nice, soft, fluffy brush that I could just brush away the gold leaf with. Oh, these are not the best. See, I wouldn't paint with these brushes. Uh, I don't know. Can you hear this? Let me put it here by my microphone. The ferrule is loose with the. Can you see all that movement? Look at how much it's moving. But anyway, it's not for painting. I would never paint with brushes that are of this low quality like this. I mean, I would. Can't say I'd never paint with them, but it's not the purpose of them. I purposely bought them for glue and gold leaf and stuff like that, so that I wasn't using my good brushes, my expensive brushes for that. So this whole set of, what is it, 16 brushes and a sponge and a palette knife was, and a case was, I don't remember, like $10. It was cheap. It was less than $1 a brush. You know, the good brushes can run you upwards of $10, $12 for one brush. So, yeah. Anyways, I bought this nice and soft to brush off the gold leaf. I don't know what shape I want. I guess it doesn't really matter whether I use that filbert or if I use a bright. Probably use the filbert. And then maybe one of these small ones down here. Teeny tiny little brushes to draw my lines. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet. Well, I have an idea, but I don't know what sizes I want to do yet. So I'm going to just, oh my goodness, I should have done this prior. Let me unwrap a couple of these little brushes, maybe sort of a medium-ish one. I know it's going to need to be a fine liner one. So let's go with the top 3. At least these ones are attached. That one is just not attached. These ones are at least are attached to their ferrule. That's good. And, you know, a nice long, ooh, that's a good one. See, even though this says it's 3 and it's supposedly bigger, I don't know if you can see this. Let me get that out of the way. It's supposedly bigger than this one that says it's a number 1. It's actually, it's longer, but it actually is thinner. This way has fewer fibers. So it'll probably, and it's a little longer, so it's more of a liner brush, and that will probably make better line for me. So I'm going to try that. So, never done this before. We are going to experiment together. I got myself some water. I got myself a little cup because it does say you can thin this with water if you need to. And I was reading a lot online about, you know, tips and tricks and what to do with gold leafing. And a lot of people said don't leave your leaf adhesive out. It will skim over and make it like a skin on it and be hard to work with really quickly. So they suggested, come on, open. Come on. There we go. They suggested that you actually take some out and put it in a little cup or on a tray or something. Don't leave it in the container because it will ruin it inside the container and will get all dried up. So I am going to, come on. Oh, it's very sticky. Well, it's glue. What else do I expect? It is a sort of a bluish milky white color, and apparently it dries clear when it's ready to be ready to use the gilding part. Wipe my hands on a paper towel here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this in there because I don't know how much I'm going to need, and I don't want to leave the jar open. I'm going to make sure I don't leave any drips on the edge so I don't glue my lid closed. That is another thing people were saying, don't glue your lid closed because you can. So be careful with that. I don't need this adhesive thing. Throw that away. And it did say you could also water it down a little bit if you need to. I don't think I need to. That looks pretty watery to me. And I am just going to do sort of a neurographic type design on here. I suspect I'm not going to be able to tell where I'm going very well. So we're just going to, you know, I'm just going to go with the original kind of swipes I did for, I don't know how much glue I need to put down either. You guys aren't going to be able to see a dang thing because I can barely see it. And then I think the thing to do is going to be to just go along kind of in the way I painted this, which was to kind of go at a diagonal. Boy, this is hard. I know you aren't going to be able to see a darn thing, which is alright, I guess. I'm just trying to be, I don't know how much glue I need. And then I'm going to go, maybe, oh, I did one there already. Okay. So now I'm going to go around on these bits. And I think what I'm going to do, because I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to see, is I'm going to go ahead and do this part and then let it dry. And then put the gilding on. And then come back and do the little neurographic bits. You know, the parts that you do. to make the Y shape, the curve, because I'm not going to know exactly how the gilding is working until I'm done with it. So I'm just going to do it like that, I think. This is an interesting idea. Who knows how it's going to turn out. I think I'm going to need some more lines going this way, though. Because I have so many that aren't intersecting, and I want those intersections. Do this big one. Because really I only have one line coming through this big one. I think I need more than that. So we're going to do all the roundabout bits. And then I'm going to come back and do some more intersecting lines. Just so I have some more places to do the neurographic bit. You don't want to go across this way though. I like the flow of it going this way. So I think I'm going to just do more lines going this way, curving, ziggy-zaggy kind of. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Well, you can't see anyways because it's clear. It's clearish bluish on a blue background. You can't see a dang thing. I know you can't. So this is probably not going to be the most interesting portion of this video. If you want to skip forward to the gilding portion, feel free. See, I gotta look at it from an angle. Didn't do that one yet. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna do some things that cross just in general this way. Can't see what I'm doing. Where did I leave off? Oh, that was a bad idea. I think I left off here. Sorry if I made this way too close to you. I had to pick it up so I can turn it in the light so I could see where I was putting a brush stroke. Do it this way. one here. I think that works. I am not 100% sure. Now I'm supposed to let it dry and tack up at 30 minutes. Apparently you're not supposed to let it dry too long or it won't be sticky, but if you don't dry it long enough, it also won't be sticky. So I don't know. It's supposed to go clear when it's ready to go. I honestly haven't got a clue. I'm going to clean up my stuff. I'm going to turn you guys off, and I'll be back when I think it's tacky, she says skeptically. Maybe I'll put a little blob here on my work surface, and that should be dry at the same time. That might help me, because I can't really see this on... Oh no, that's different. That's different texture. Oh, that's not going to work. Well, I'll find something. I'm going to make a little sample piece so I can play with the sample piece before I turn you guys back on and make sure that this is sticky enough. And I'll be back in a few minutes. You'll be back in seconds. All right, see you in a sec. Alrighty guys, it feels properly tacky, I think. It seems to have gone clear. I put some here on this bit of palette paper with some dried up paint, and it seems to be tacky. So I'm going to try it on here first, and then I'm going to move to my main thing. Have not opened this yet. I've been very good sitting here patiently waiting. Comes in a package like this. I'm just very excited to try this and to look at the colors and decide what color I think will be best on my canvas, because maybe I don't want gold. Maybe I want one of the other colors. I'm not sure. Oh my. How do I do this and not make a mess? Let's see. Oh, they do all seem to be gold. Apparently I bought all gold. That makes it easier. Thought it was a multi-pack, but maybe they use this same package for all of their things. Let me just... You can't see what I'm doing. Let me move this over. I don't want to knock anything over. Can I assume that it's... I've kind of watched YouTube videos. I know with real gold leaf, it's best to use the brush to lift. I'm just going to stick this under here, capture that little tiny bit that I think it goes to right there, and then pull it off just gently. Yes, that seems to be sticky. Maybe? Is that not where it was? Haha, that's not where it was. It was over here. Yes, okay, seems to be sticky. It's stuck to other things too, but that's where I had my glue. All right. Perfect. So let's bring this in. And I'm going to... See, I should have left that on the piece of paper. It's just going to stick to everything, isn't it? I am just going to stick it. We're just learning together here, folks. Like that. And then we're going to stick it down. so. I'm a little crooked, but that's all right. It's not going to make any difference once I pull off the paper anyway. Scooch a little bit over there. Okay. Let's do another one. We're learning. We're learning together, people. Okay. Take up the whole sheet with the piece of paper under it so that I don't make a mess this time. Set that down there. And then pull out this piece. Like that. That looks like that worked a little better. And like I said, I don't know exactly where everything's sticking. I'll just stick it down with my brush, just gently. Oh yeah, I see the little areas. Okay, so let's just use some of this. Peel up the parts that are not going to be sticking and move them over here. And hopefully we won't waste any. We can stick some of that to over here. Right? Maybe. See what happens. I know. There's probably somebody out there who works with this stuff all the time and you're telling me, I'm doing it wrong. What are you doing? That's not how you do it. It's okay. I'll take constructive criticism. Just don't be mean, okay? Seems to be working, and I'm just going to use these extra bits over here. Yeah? Or do I want to push them all off and just use a full sheet over here? Maybe so. Let's do that. So that they kind of look the same. I'll do this. Like that. And then maybe if I can get this other half a sheet. Move to up here. Like that. Very sticky on your fingies. Something like that. Because, see, I have no idea where I stuck my glue. I don't know where it's supposed to stick and where it's not supposed to stick. Just kind of brush it everywhere. So far, I think it's looking okay. And I put down a piece of drop paper underneath so that I could capture all of this flakes and save them for another day. I think that's the trick, right? Is to not waste it. Save the rest for another day. This seems right. Feels right. And then I'll need to come in and anywhere where I think it needs the neurographic curving, I'll have to go back in and put some more glue. You don't need to see me do that. I'm going to finish taking this part off, and then I'm going to do some more gluing, do some more weighting, do some more finishing off, and I'll come back when I'm all finished to show you guys what I ended up with. But for sure you need this soft brush to get everything off where you didn't glue. Absolutely. That seems to be working. Just kind of push it all off to the edge. I like what it looks like so far, though. It's sort of a coppery gold color. It's not a yellowy gold. It's more of a bronzy coppery gold. I like it. And like I said, then I'll go back through with the glue, clean up areas now that I can see what I've done, and add more glue to where I think it needs glue, add more gold where I think it needs gold. I need to get myself a little jar or something to capture all of these leftover bits in, though, I think. To go in the house, see if I have any like old pickle jars or something. My husband keeps jars all the time for stuff. Anyways, I'm going to keep fussing with this. You've seen the basic thing what I've done. And like I said, I'm going to come back in with some more glue. And I'm gonna do those curve bits like what you do for neurographic art, and curve all of these little pieces, and I will be back. I don't want this video to be just me futzing with gold leaf, but I wanted you to see what I was up to, because I thought, well, you know, I want to play with this. I'm going to share with my friends what I'm doing. And now I know how I can add gold leaf to any of my projects, really, and make it just that little bit more sparkly. Alright, I'm going to keep futzing with this, and I'll be back in what's probably going to be an hour or so for me, and a couple of seconds for you. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back, and here's where I'm at, and I don't know if you can see it, but what I did was I came back and I put the glue in the curvy bits. That worked fine. I missed a couple, like I missed this one, but I don't know if you can see it. I used the leftovers. I found a jar and I put it all in the leftovers, and I just sprinkled that out and brushed it around. And it's a different texture than when I just stuck the leaf down. So, I mean, it's okay, but it's not what I wanted. See how you can see the different textures? So, I think I'm going to stop again, and I am going to re-glue and redo it with whole sheets. So I'm going to use 4 more sheets. I mean, I've got 100 sheets. I can play with this stuff. I was just trying to be thrifty. And thrifty is probably okay. If you do a whole piece with the pieces, you won't notice a texture difference. But if you do a full sheet, you have to do everything with the full sheet. That is what I've learned. It's a learning process. It's okay. But I'm going to try again. I'm going to see what happens if I re-glue the whole darn thing and redo it with full sheets again. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that it looks just the way it does now, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not what I had anticipated. I do like the neurographic parts, though. I like the shapes. So we're just going to try this again. I'll be back for you in a few seconds. For me, it'll probably be another at least an hour, maybe more. And yeah, and I am just covered in little tiny pieces of leaf. It's like glitter. If you don't like glitter, don't do this craft. Just FYI. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Bye. Alrighty guys, here we go. I finally finished. I think it came out great. I went down the sides so that it kind of wraps around the sides. And that looks way better. I like this better. So FYI, if you ever do it in the future, I did save all my scraps. I'm not going to go to waste. I will use these on another project. But if you are going to do scraps, do the whole thing in scrap. If you're going to do leaf, do the whole thing in leaf, because they do come out differently. Not that either one is better than another. Just the texture is different. So the next time if I do a project and I want to do scraps, I'll do all scrap. And then it'll be fine. I just didn't like that it had two different textures. But this came out awesome. I'm really happy with it. A little bit of gold, a little bit of color, some neurographic. So the next time I do something like this, 100% I'll know that it's going to take much longer than I had anticipated. I've been now working on this project for, it says I've been inactive for 3 hours and 2 minutes. So I've been sitting here for 3 hours working on this. Yeah, so there's that. It takes longer than you think. I think I would plan out where I want to put my lines in advance, probably with pencil, maybe watercolor pencil, but for sure, I mean, it could be pencil. It's going to be covered up anyways with the gold, so you're not going to see it. So I would plan in advance what I want to do. And I think I'm going to try different methods of applying the glue. I think I'm going to try to maybe buy one of those little fine liner glue applicators that looks like a pen, or a little syringe. Maybe a syringe would be better. Some sort of glue applicator so I can get a finer line, because this was the smallest brush that was in that set and it's still a pretty fat line. So if I want to get thinner lines, I would have to get a smaller brush or a smaller applicator of some sort. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to look around, see what I can find that is in my price budget for maybe getting some kind of, don't know, what do you guys think would be better? A syringe or fine liner, or is it kind of the same thing? I don't want to put it in a glue bottle. The problem with the glue bottle is that I'm not going to use this that frequently, and I'm afraid it's going to dry up in the glue bottle. So that's why I was thinking the syringe, because if I get a syringe, I can pull it up, just use the tiniest bit of glue. I didn't use hardly any glue. I mean, I put some in the bottom of that cup, was just the tiniest little bit. That's what's left over in the bottom of this cup, but I didn't even put one layer on the bottom of this cup. I just tipped it like this, and even at that, I didn't even use what I tipped out. I put most of it back. So I don't need that much, so I'm thinking maybe a syringe. Anyway, just thinking about it. This is how it turned out. If I tip it this way, you can see the whole thing without it being all glittery at you. If I tip it this way, it's very gold. Don't know which way I want to do it for a thumbnail. I think I want to do it this way. All right. So you guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video. This one took all day to record, and I don't have time to do anything else. So I will see you later. You have a blessed day, and I'm gonna clean up. I have glitter glue, glitter. I have gold everywhere. I'm gonna have to get the vacuum. All right, I'll see you later. Bye bye.